Greetings. This is Minister Michael Muhammad coming to you on behalf of ArchAngel Human Development with another installment on our leadership talks. And in this talk, very quickly, I want to talk about or raise the question: are you in the system or are you in your purpose? Are you in the system or are you in purpose? And there is a difference. Most of us, either by default or for want of a more mature understanding, are part of a system, some system. At work, whether you work for a corporate entity, whether you work for a small business, whether you work for a social service agency, whether you work for a government agency, whether you are on an athletic team, sports team, primarily however you earn your living or make a wage, we are all a part of some system. Generally, we apply for the job, we make ourselves suitable for the job, we sell our ability to accept and appreciate, conform to, and espouse systems, because every business, every organization, every entity has established systems, a set of things that are connected, a way to connect the parts of the whole to produce a product, whether that product is a physical product, whether that product is a service, or what have you. Every entity in operation, every operation has a system, and that fundamentally means how the different parts of the whole connect together. How do they connect together to produce a deliverable? So if you are an educator, you're part of an educational system, and that system is operating on certain philosophical points, certain proven or theorized concepts and outcomes, certain projections of what a student will look like, and by extension what a human being will be at the end of its moving through, or what we call matriculation through a system. What kind of people do you produce? Whether you are working in a religious world, religion is a system, and all denominations, all sects, all faiths, as they are organized, have some internal systematized way, some regimented form of etiquette, protocol, procedure, and process to connect themselves together, that they might be able to readily identify each other or identify a common product. I hope you're with me on that. So we are all a part of a system. Many of us go to school, we get trained in systems. No matter what your discipline is, you get trained in the system of Western society, on how Western society will allow you to participate in your discipline of learning through the systems that are set up. And so you get your job to integrate or assimilate or participate in that system. And the more you are efficient or conformant to that system, generally the more opportunity you will have at promotion or elevation to higher authority or position in the system. So most of us can say, yes, I'm in the system. even if you're an entrepreneur, you have to engage with systems in order to achieve your purpose. Now, entrepreneurs or people who self-create opportunity may or may not be as conformant and compliant to systems as somebody who is simply a part of a corporate structure. But that's another discussion. So I want to ask, are you in the system or are you in purpose? Now, there is a difference, and the difference is very distinguishable. When you call the utility company to speak with a person about a problem, that person has a script. They've been trained on calls and responses based upon the script. That script represents the objectives of the system in managing your call as a customer. When you have a problem that person cannot handle, generally they have the ability to refer you to a supervisor or a manager. That manager has a broader scope of authority to act and make decisions, but that manager is also following a script. So if your problem is beyond the scope of the script of that manager, generally what happens is, because the manager views his or herself as a person of authority, if they can't solve your problem based upon the logic and the reasoning of the script they're given as a manager, a higher authority, generally they will switch tracks and try to use authority to handle your problem or your situation. They now make you the problem, since the logic of their script, the quality of their script, does not permit them to creatively solve a problem. The script only gives them a limited scope of adaptability. I hope you're with me. So systems, corporate systems, most of them overmanage adaptability. They overmanage the human being's right and ability to think critically. They want you, based upon your level of commission or authority, to stay within that box. And if you come outside of that box, even if it's obvious to you that the solution in your box is inadequate, if you come outside of that box, generally you will be reprimanded, you will be demoted, not promoted, you will be dismissed, or some such thing. You will not be elevated. So this is generally the way systems in our society run. And so if you are the person who came in at entry level, you got a promotion, you became, just hypothetically, crew chief, then you got another promotion, you became supervisor, then you got another promotion, you became a manager at some level, then you got another promotion, you became a regional manager or a director, or you made your way all the way up, and now you are executive level, what's called executive level leadership. Then you feel or you believe in the system, because the system has rewarded you for following the script. The system has rewarded you for revalidating and reinforcing the system. Okay, it's because the system becomes a living organism that is intent on its survival. So when you become so ingrained in a system, you can also lose purpose. So many corporations have a crisis in their corporate life because the systems they create choke out human adaptability. So when customers have demands, problems, and desires that the system that's set up is not accommodating, then customers will switch to other companies that seem to meet their needs a little better. And that presents a crisis in corporate structures where corporations have to reevaluate their business model. That's for the corporate folks. But now, as an individual, are you in the system or are you on purpose? Over 65% of all Americans, each time their surveys say they're very dissatisfied with the work where they work, with the people they work with or report to at work. There's a high level of dissatisfaction. Even people who earn high salaries, 6 figures or more, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, $100,000 or more with benefits and all of that kind of stuff, they also report a high level of dissatisfaction in going to work every day. Why is that? If you're working for money and they're giving you good money and you're living a high quality of life, why do most people still report a lot of dissatisfaction with work? The reason is that the human being is designed to be in purpose and not necessarily in a system. Systems, in truth, should be based upon the principles, the universal principles that the human being is constructed upon. Your brain and the other 9 systems of the human being work at such a high level that it still baffles science at so many different levels. It's so much about being a human being in the human systems that the best scientists and professionals, medical professionals, biologists, etc., still don't understand, still make serious errors in handling the human system. But all systems proceed from the mind of human beings. However, in our arrogance, we begin to elevate the systems we create beyond the need to compare them to the original system, which is the universe and the universe's supreme system out of which human beings have materialized or become existent. And so if you don't know your purpose, you believe that once I get a job and I earn money and I pay my bills, I take a vacation, I buy a car, I buy a house, I buy all these nice things for my loved ones, that should satisfy me. And then you realize that it's not satisfying you at a deeper level. That is because human beings are designed with purpose in mind. We are birthed with purpose, and we're birthed with capacities that are intended for us to develop in the pursuit of that purpose, whatever that purpose is. Too many of us don't know our purpose. Too many of us abort the process, the rigorous, painful process of self-development once we are employed at some degree or some level in somebody else's system. And so you advocate for that system, you fight for that system, you defend that system, you crush people for that system, you elevate those who cater to that system, so forth and so on. And all along the way, you find that people like that who are so enmeshed in corporate systems become empty people. And so you and I have to ask ourselves, am I simply in the system or am I in purpose? Am I in my purpose? What is your purpose? And out of your purpose, you must create a lifestyle, or another word for lifestyle is system of living, that will allow you to sustain your purpose irrespective of anybody or anything else. When you discover your purpose, then you will discover your power. But it is only in purpose that you can discover your power. So power and purpose are paramount over system, over allegiance to anything or anyone other than the giver of our purpose. We know our purpose does not come from self, because we didn't give ourself self. We come from something into something, and we return back to something. So finally, if you are a leader in an organization, or you think you're a leader, we don't qualify to be leaders if we crush people who come in the system with the power of purpose. It is the people who come and discover or know purpose coming in, but are willing to work the system as they know they should learn the system in order to achieve purpose. But many of us are afraid of people of purpose. We only are comfortable with people who conform to the system. But the problem is, people with real purpose, they may conform to the system, but once they master conformity to the system, they have the creative power of the universe behind them to expand the system to another level that makes room for growth, development, expansion, etc., on a level that a person who is satisfied with being a system purpose, or what we call a company person, cannot relate to. I hope I'm making sense to you. So I don't want to make this long. I just want you, if you're a supervisor, a manager of some level, an executive at some level, what is the culture climate in your organization? Are you more concerned with people who comply with the system? Or are you able to handle people in the system who have purpose? This is Minister Michael Muhammad. This has been our leadership moment with ArchAngel Human Development. If you need help with your organization, we would be happy to come in and apply some of these principles we are articulating to you in these leadership talks. You can reach us at www.archangelhumandevelopment.net, archangelhumandevelopment.net, or you can reach us on Facebook at ArchAngel Human Development.